Happy Friday, everyone. I'm ANNBIRCHARD. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to be using the Ornate Garden Suite to create this lovely card. Lots of spring colors in it, so let's make a card. I'm going to be using the Ornate style, this flower set, the Ornate Thanks, You Made My Day, and the coordinating ornate layers. So let's make a card. I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. I have the flowers already set. I'm going to put a little of repositionable tape on the back so it's not going to move. And I'm going to line it up so it fits on the basic white cardstock. And then I'll trim it down. All right. Remember to use your case as a platform for when you add the ink to your stamp. And I'm just using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Give it a good massage. The great thing about the Stamparatus, if you don't get a good stamp on the first one, if nothing moves, you can go ahead and re-stamp it, and that looks great. I'm going to go ahead and use my chamois, clean off my stamp, and then set this aside. Now, since the stamp has rubber in it, you don't need the black rubber inside the Stamparatus. If I were using a polymer stamp set, then you do want the rubber inside. So remember that simple little trick. Okay, now for the temporary adhesive, all you have to do is rub it off with your finger, and that's it. Okay, I can move this out. Now I'm going to be using my blending brush to color everything. Now this is my type of coloring. Watch this. Just load it up. I'm gonna grab some scratch paper. Make sure I don't have a huge blob. And I'm using mint macaron for my leaves. And I would start off light and then build it up. You can always add color. Removing color, not so much. And the great thing about this technique, you don't have to be perfect, and you're definitely not staying in the lines. I knew there was another one. Again, you can always build up the color. Now I'm just going to use my rag, if I can find it, and just brush off the color. Now if you're staying within the green family, start with light and build up to the dark, and you don't need to wipe off in between. But since I'm switching colors, family colors, definitely need to wipe off. Now I'm going to be using the Daffodil to Light. Pick up some ink. And I think these two. Get the yellow. The great thing with the blending brushes, run them under water and it'll take off the ink. Ooh, pretty. Bringing my rag. Good to go. And now we're going to come in with Blushing Bride. Use my muscles there. Let's get these flowers. Don't forget to text ANNBIRCHARD, all capital letters, one word, to the number 22828 to receive my monthly newsletter. I give you tips, tricks, and techniques, and any specials that Stampin' Up! May be having. Ooh, lovely. Wipe it off. And then last one is going to be Highland Heather. And we'll get those other little ones. The blending brushes, they come in a pack of 3, which is really nice. You can designate each one for a different color family. A little bit more purple here, a Highland Heather. Really want to intensify that. All right, we're gonna call it good. Let me wipe this off. Put that aside and close this because I know I will put my finger in it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down. Bring in my paper trimmer. And I'm just gonna go right to the edge of my image. A little on this side. Let's see. A little bit on the bottom. There you go. So that ended up being 3 by 4 1/4. Now, I've gone ahead and die cut using this. Oop, it's stuck. I used this die in Highland Heather, and then I used this stitched rectangle out of the mint macaron, and this is just a scrap of basic white. I keep these in a jar, all these strips of offcuts. In fact, here's a couple more. Save these because these are great for the sentiments. Let me put this out of the way here, and then let me go ahead and stamp my sentiment. Which way is up? There you go. You made my day. And again, I'm going to just use the Tuxedo Black ink. Now I already have a rubber mat underneath because it is polymer. Center this and commit. Remember, if it's crooked, you paid for both sides of the cardstock. Just flip it over and stamp it again. Wipe that off. Cover this up. All right, let's start creating. This is the Daffodil Delight, cut at 5 1/2. Fold it in half or score it at 4 1/4. Bring in your bone folder, get a nice crease. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal for the Highland Heather layer. There you go. Center this nicely. Now, if you notice, there's a lot of fiddly bits. There's a shout out to my UK friends. You can use your Stampin' or your pick tool and get the brush attachment. And that will help get all those fiddly bits out. Then I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of my flower pieces. You want to make sure you have enough so it doesn't warp when it goes through the mail. And peel those off. You can also use the take your pick tool to get those off. I'm just going to use my nails. Oop. A little bit more. There we go. Throw it. And again, center it. And commit. I'm going to add the sentiment onto the mint macaron. And again, trying to center it. And commit. And then add the seal to the back and one Stampin' dimensional on each side because it's going to straddle over the flowers and you want it to be even. You'll see here in a minute what I mean. So this is raised. It's going to sit on the sides. And that looks good. Ooh, it's coming together. Now, I need my sparkles. And you need your Winkastella. And yes, you have to say it like that. Winkastella. And I'm going to add it to my flowers. Give it a pretty shine. Let it have a little sparkle pop off the page. And then let's bring in some rhinestones and our take a pick tool. And remember, in threes or odd numbers rather, just to highlight. Let's go there. And one more. I think that'll work. Ugh. Now it's stuck to my finger. I think I want it over here. There we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this crafting experience with the civil engineer. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like and please leave a comment. I take any suggestions. If you would like to see a certain technique, just let me know. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.